Welcome back to the Sol Show, where we talk about all things Solana TA. So, we're off to a good start. It is May 16th, 2024. Had a pretty good couple of days. Kicked off incredible yesterday. And today we just kind of took a pause. But you know what? That's all right. We didn't take a dive. Though I did take a few profits. I saw it rolling over the top at about 163. Said, okay. I'm going to kind of step back from this just in case with the way that April and the first half of May have been. I'm cautious. But you know what? I'm also cautiously optimistic. So let's take a look at this. This week is turning out good. Like I said at the beginning of the week, we started out with a red candle, but I said I think that candle's going to turn green. And look at that. It stayed green throughout the day. Yesterday and today. Been fantastic. We're looking at 2 days and 21 hours remaining on that candle. I think it's got a good chance of ending up green. So let's take a look. Let's do what we do and just run through the time frames. So, on the daily, here we are. Let's look at this. Too zoomed in here. Let's kind of get perspective. We are continuing to climb that line. And isn't it glorious? Look at that. We have been climbing this line consistently. As a matter of fact, if I extend this out a little bit further, you see where it's going. All the way back to Halloween, We got more of a treat than a trick for Halloween last year. And hopefully that'll continue. Hopefully this run is going to continue well into 2025. Somewhere in 2025, better watch out. So, will it still be going Halloween 2025? I don't know. No idea, but sometime in 2025, I'm going to have to start taking a few profits. But we're going to keep you posted and let you know what's going on the Sol Show. Give you all my insights. So, you see, we've had a few really great opportunities. And when opportunity knocks, you have to be ready. So let's talk about that. I'll run through a few of the best opportunities that we've had and look at the indicators here. A couple that I use. This is from Invest Answers right here. And this is VMC Cipher. And I use the Rex Oscillator and do some pretty fantastic trades and DCAs with that. So look here. And it's always after we just had this gnarly fall. Every great journey begins with a great fall. Oftentimes, more often than not. So we had this incredible pump from September. It was a surprise. I remember in late September going, I was DCAing into Sol for a long time. Did not expect what came in September and October. Absolute miracle. And then just the parabolic rise right up until Christmas. Man, I was feeling very blessed. And right after that, and you know what's funny though? That was right when the friends and family started FOMOing in and said, I think Sol actually knows what he's talking about. We thought he was crazy all this time. It's like, your stuff went up how much, Sol? Said, yeah, man. It's like, say, well, why didn't you tell us, Sol? It's, I've been telling you for months or years. Or, I just figured you thought I was crazy or something. But, yeah, it ended up working. And right about then, yeah, they FOMO'd in. And look what happens when you FOMO. Nosedive. Let's see, how long did that go on? Because what we just came out of is so similar to that. History doesn't necessarily repeat, but it rhymes. So right from Christmas into December up until the end of January. Look at that. And a lot of people gave up at that point. That was about 1 month. Not too bad. We just came out of something that, it lasted quite some time. It was from 2 months. It was a solid 2 months of not fun times. But with this, the first fall that we had during this bull run, let's measure. just exactly how far that we came down. Kind of get perspective here. So what we can see here, it went from 126 and retraced all the way down to about 80. And this was from a run that started at about 51 and a quarter. 51 and a quarter ran all the way up to about 126.27 over a period from about the third week of November to the last week of December. What a glorious run it was. That's what I had been hodling for. And I hope you were too. But everything mean reverts. And this is the lesson that we need to learn from history, because we're starting another pump right now. Everybody who hung in there is about to get paid really big. But what I want to see you hang on to your gains, folks. If you've been riding the ups and downs of this thing and just feeling like you're treading water, let's figure out how to do this better. Let's take a lesson from history so we can understand and get perspective. So, with this glorious run, it retraced about 61.8%, and that's the Fibonacci golden ratio right there. All things mean revert. But if you hung on, let's see how big the pump was. I currently have the fibs on this. And this is why we hang on. If April 2024 was discouraging for you, this is something to look forward to. We had a whole month going straight down from late December to late January. But look at what happened after. Here's the silver lining. And I think this is the same silver lining, something similar, that's beginning for us right now. So we went from about bottoming out around 80. I'd say right about there where the final capitulation took place. And we went all the way up to 210. Get in, loser. We're going to 210. That's what Solana said. And she means it all in jest. Solana has a personality a lot like a cat. You know, she'll rub up on you and love you, and then she'll suddenly bite you and scratch you. It's like, whoa, what'd you do there? I thought we were friends. And you got to roll with the punches. You got to know how to dodge a bite. So let's look at this. Here's an example on January 30th where we had this resistance at 107. Look at this. It pumped up mid-February, came back down, tried to retest. It retested that resistance as support for a moment. Boom, failed. But it hit the 50-day moving average, and we went up all the way to 129. Actually higher than that. Yeah, with the wickety wicks. Yeah, all the way up to 137. Man, we visited those levels recently. What do you know about that? Talk about resistance becoming support. That was a very recent support level. I'm talking about from just a few days ago. Actually, when we finally hit that last drop before the beginning of the current pump. So the resistance can become support. So here's an example. Look at that. Perfect. 107. It was resistance. We fought with it at the end of January. And look at this. And this is what confluence is. It became a great support level. I remember this. This was an unforgettable time right here. March 5th. Oh my goodness. The wick attack of March 5th. My goodness. So what happened on March 5th was suddenly we were sitting here at 128, kind of like, we going to do this or what? We're just kind of sitting here consolidating. Then suddenly, boom, Solana starts pumps up to 144.5. And then suddenly without warning, it starts dumping. Boom! So this is a wick attack. So what it does, it teaches those who are using leverage incorrectly, be careful with leverage if you don't know what you're doing, or avoid leverage altogether. Not safe. Not safe. You got to be careful with that. If you don't know what you're doing, better off just buy spot and hodl, DCA, dollar cost average in, and hold it. If you hold the top 1% of assets and you bought them at the right time and you take profits at the right time, you will succeed with this. But so many people fail because they get short-sighted. They get greedy. So don't let that be you. It's all a learning process. But yeah, the wick attack of March 5th. Oh man, what a night that was. But interesting stuff. The way that I approached this, oh my goodness. I saw that and I went in hard and heavy. When that thing started dropping, as a matter of fact, Coinbase shut down. Jupiter shut down. This closed down everything. It flooded the system. Solana is improving, though. The good news, now Solana has come so far since then. Firedancer is on the way. Solana has done a lot of patches. So Jupiter shutting down when it gets flooded with way too many transactions, that hasn't happened recently. In this recent pump, I am very pleasantly surprised with the strides that Solana has made. So the developers are doing a fantastic job. Solana is well on its way. It is the Ethereum killer. It is on its way to being the number one layer one smart contract platform. And I've been saying this since 2022. That I got some very good information at that time. This information spoke to me. And I said, you know what? I think you're right. And I went with it. I went all in. And it was the best decision that I ever made. So, the wick attack of March 5th. The lesson here is you have to be greedy. Well, what Warren Buffett said. You have to be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. So in this case, it was time to be greedy when others were fearful. And look at what followed. The rocket ride. All the way up. All the way up to 209. The peak. And that happened in such a short period of time. Oh my goodness. It was March 18th when that wrapped up. Just such a short period of time when that happened. What a rocket ride it was. It was from a Tuesday to the following Monday. Wow. That's why you can spend so many days in the market, but there's only a small number of days that count the most, and you never know when they're going to happen. As a matter of fact, that's what I was telling a friend earlier today, was that yesterday, May the 15th, was an absolutely epic day. It was one of the best days I have ever seen in crypto, following just the worst run, one of the worst drops that I've ever seen. So that's how it goes. The extreme moves, they always mean revert. So it got so far down there, it's ready to mean revert now. It's ready for the rocket ride, and I believe it's beginning. But here we go. This came down. And here's another example of that fib retracement. 61.8%, the golden ratio that we see in nature all the time. And this is at that 128 level, 129, what I have here. And you know what? I was saying for months, this is going down to 129 or 126, somewhere around there. When it was up here, I was just feeling that. I was like, I think it's going to. I just have this funny feeling it's going to revisit here or revisit here, that these levels need to be revisited, possibly even fill this wick, which I don't know, it still could. Let's hope not. I think we're well on our way up now because we have the inverse head and shoulders, and we now have money flow that's returning. Let's look at the lower time frames and get on to what we're doing. the 4-hour fantastic mid-range time frame. As a matter of fact, Sol is pumping right now. We had a day of consolidation today. Yeah, what I know is, oh, here it is. Yeah, just the most epic. Yeah, the May the 15th pump. Nothing else like that. This is one of the finest days in crypto you'll ever see right here. But I see things like this, sell signal here, sell signal in the Rex. So I saw all that and I said, okay, time to take a few profits, step back a little bit, and let's see how this is going to go. Kind of lighten the bag a little bit and step back, be ready. So we got a little dip and I got to re-enter a little bit lower. So that was good. And guess what? Boom, we're pumping again. But now the question remains, is it a fake out? Fake out or breakout? So we're going to have to see. Let's look at the lower time frame, see if we have any entries here. I'm going to run through this fairly quick. But what I'm seeing, this is what's been referred to by some as a cheat sheet entry. Some of the traders online have called it that. So using Cypher, see the green dot down here under the 0, and we got a good thick money flow. Let me make this a little bit larger. So this is a very good example. We got the anchor, we got the trigger wave, we got the VWAP crossing to the upside. So I saw that and I said, you know what, let's jump back in there. Well, I stayed in, I just lightened the bag a little bit, and I said, you know what, let's put a little bit of weight on there. And it was a good thing too, because here we go. So it broke this resistance at 160. And now the resistance seems to have turned into support. So first, it broke the resistance yesterday. I was amazed on May the 15th that it went above 160. That was my top level that I thought it was going to go to. And boom, it shot all the way to like 164. I was taking profits at 163. So, and then getting back in about 156. So good stuff, real good stuff. And from what it looks like, the higher time frames, they're not perfect. I'll give it that. Let's go back real quick. And I'll show you why. Because you always have to have confirmation with the higher time frames. Here it is. Yep. This right here. A little bit of bearish divergence right here. But in a market that's pumping this hard, you can get away with things that you couldn't get away with otherwise. So we may be in a situation like that where it's a brand new pump that we're doing, a brand new mega pump that we're going into, and it seems like it. But I'm being cautious, but I'm cautiously optimistic as well. So with that, may all your trades be safe and prosperous. To be continued on the next Sol Hoddleman Show.